mostly what you've been doing. You said since you got your license, you started selling cars.
Yeah. The first car that I sold wasn't my car. It was just for my dad.
Yeah.
Before my dad gave me the car to sell, he told me how much he got it for and what price I needed to sell it at. So I kind of knew how much he was making off each car because I was the one selling it. I wasn't getting any of the money. So I knew that he was making like a good amount of money off each car. I was like, it's not that difficult, and it's definitely something that I could do, for myself too.
So your dad was selling cars for a while before that, or did he? What did he do before that?
Uh, my dad has been selling cars for, well, not selling cars, just buying the cars and fixing them, and was the one that was selling it. Um, he's been doing that for the last 10 years or so. Yeah. But before that, he was in construction until the economy crashed in '08.
Oh dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He had his own company with my uncle. They built houses from the ground up, did high-end remodels, Camas downtown. The economy fell. They weren't expecting it at all. My parents actually rented a house in Wood Village. Lost that. Think they went into like bankruptcy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so my dad just needed to pick up something quick, and the most accessible thing that he knew what to do, or like the most accessible thing that he found, was just buying cars and selling them. And I, to this day, remember my first sale, and it was my dad's car. It was just like a crazy experience because it was something my dad has never done. He's entrusting a 14-year-old kid to help him sell the car. So like everything was like just kind of make things up as you go, like you never really knew what you were doing. But then
man.
over time, like you just kind of connect the puzzle pieces.
I remember when I don't think my dad had me sell cars when I was younger, but he always had me sell stuff on Craigslist and stuff. I still remember to this day, like, text, do not call this number. Because I was always like, someone's going to call. There's going to be a 12-year-old answering the phone on the other end. And I have no idea what I'm doing. And like you said, you kind of learn as you go, though. So that's funny. No, like you mentioned, it's interesting. Like the more people I talk to, it's a lot of times like what they do for work and for a living. It's not like something that they were kind of planning for a long time. It's more like, hey, I saw this opportunity. I needed to like fix something where I needed to do this, or there's an opportunity here, an opening here. Like you said, your dad just needed something to pick up quickly, and that's how you got into cars. How, I guess for someone starting like that, how easy would you say, or how hard would you say it is to get started and to kind of learn the basics of that business?
It's not very challenging. I think the challenging way is how you get the vehicle and how you're selling it, because right now there's a lot of people that are in that market that just kind of half butt things, and it's illegal but kind of legal, so it's
like what do you
kind
mean?
of like a gray area. Well, if it comes down to like Oregon law, I could only legally sell 6 cars a year under my name.
Right.
But 6 cars isn't gonna provide much. That's only like if I average out, let's say $2,000 profit off each car, that's $12,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That won't even sustain me as a single man. And that won't even sustain a family,
Yeah.
So what they do is just consign through like car dealerships that they know of that are like Russian owned, and then they just give their cars away to them, and then they just sell it for them. But if you wanted to actually sell cars like full time, like it's a car that I purchase and then I sell it, then you could legally only have 6 of those cars that you sell every single year. And then the 7th one would have to be under someone else's name, but then the title would have to be under someone's name. But honestly, there's a lot of loopholes and I wouldn't say that I don't take advantage of those loopholes as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Is this your confession tape right here?
yeah, I'm gonna get arrested next week.
Well, we're going to bleep out your name from the beginning now. 'Cause,
Actually, my fake name is Lucas Trachuk, so you can just call me Lucas
Lucas
Trachuk.
Trachuk.
Yeah, and so I have a second Facebook that I sell all my cars through, because none of the cars that I sell are under my name. They're under the auction that I bought it from, and the car dealership that represents the auction from, where they got it from. That's not illegal, but it's just like a gray area of like,
Yeah, like you said, loopholes sometimes
yeah.
happen. So
So I sell cars for Cascade Motors and Elite Auto Group for now. Those two car dealerships kind of represent me. So I'm selling cars for my uncle. He owns Cascade Auto, but now it's a motor group because he just sells his cars through a different car dealership called RST Motors, which is his son's car dealership. So I just have a lot of, not saying a lot of people can do this, because I just got super lucky
connections, yeah.
by having family that are already within this business. So I don't have to do much to get a car and to sell a car, because I'm always backed by, if not my uncle, then my brother-in-law, if not my brother-in-law, my cousin. So there's just a lot of people that I know within this industry that have helped me a lot. And if it wasn't for them, I probably would have never been in this industry. Like, I still probably would have been a dropout, but I would have been working at Wendy's still.
The Wendy's days. So do you do a lot of work yourself on like the cars, or do you really just do the selling and buying and stuff?
90% of the time, I only do the selling. The last few cars I've gotten were just theft. So I just literally pick up the car, get the car detailed, and just post it up.
Wait, so you're saying you just
No.
to clarify that the last few cars you purchased were
not a thief. So they were stolen, and then the insurance paid out the people that owned the vehicle, and then it ended up on an auction. So I get theft recovery vehicles that have been stolen but have been later recovered.
I thought you were confessing to another crime just now, man.
No, not yet.
So everything comes from auction, and you don't look at anything else for cars.
But if there is something that I need to fix, then it's not me doing it. It's me just holding the flashlight for my dad, and it's just my dad doing it for me. So I'm just blessed that he knows his way around cars mechanically and just knows his way around stuff really well. So like, he helps me a lot. Literally could fix all my cars. The funny thing is that the truck I'm selling right now is for my uncle. Has two bad headlights and a radio. So he ordered the headlights, just told me to install them when, as soon as they came on, so I could take photos and sell it. So I got the headlights 2 days ago, and I'm like, literally on YouTube, like, how do I take off headlights off a Nissan Frontier? Like, even like when it comes down to like even the simple stuff, I'm like, dude, this is challenging. Like, yet there's people that are doing these things in their garage with like frame pulling and like the craziest stuff, while I still have to like Google like
and
taking
there were
off
people
headlights.
that were doing this before YouTube and Google, like right?
Yeah.
That's what like. It's just so funny how dependent we are on that. Like even like recipes and stuff. Like people like our parents used to like know all this stuff in their head, or maybe write it down or whatever. But yeah, like without YouTube, how do they know how to fix it?
Exactly. Like my mom makes food just based off what she knows, while I have to like measure out the milk that I put in my mac and cheese and like have to make sure everything's precise, because if I screw it up or mess something up, like it'll just be horrendous.
Yeah, or like GPS. Like even though I've been to a place 5 times, I'm like, just in case, I'm just turning it on. Like I don't know, technology, man. It makes us dumber, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
So no, that's cool. So you're not really doing much of the labor and stuff, like. So I guess like the point to that is, just because you're not like a car guy or you know a lot about cars, does not mean that you can't get into selling cars, like, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, comes down to like how a car runs and like this or that. I honestly don't know too much. Like, I have common sense and that gets you far enough.
Yeah.
But like,
You can change a tire.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably can. Um, but yeah, just like I'm just blessed that I've never like had to. Actually, I wouldn't say blessed. I just have a good dad that helps me a lot. And I would say that he helps me out too much because I never had the ability to like learn the stuff for myself because it was always him like kind of doing it. So now it's been like what 8 years. I'm 22 and it's like when it's the ball's in my court. It's like my dad did it for me. Like I don't really know what to do.
You just take it to your dad.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's yeah, I'm the same way. Literally, like anytime something happens to my car, I'm like, okay, gotta call off my dad. Hopefully he doesn't think I only call him when something's wrong with my car. um so how you mentioned you kind of you kind of mentioned that you dropped out and stuff already, but like was this, I guess, back to like the thing I said before about stumbling to things, like did you plan to be selling cars like this long, or what were you kind of planning to do growing up?